popping down here. The block is hot. All right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're gonna be doing some science, and we're doing it with 2 less wheels than we typically do at Casa del Chop. Some of you regulars may remember back in July of last year, we installed that EFlexFuel kit onto my Gen 1 Raptor. And I have to say, to date, that is probably the best investment and best mod I have done to that vehicle yet. 1, the damn thing gets better fuel economy on E85 than it does any grade of gasoline. I don't know how. 2, it runs a hell of a lot cooler. 3, it saved me a ton of money because E85 is about half as much as gasoline here in California. Which brings us to our science experiment today. I just learned that EFlexFuel actually makes these kits for all sorts of power sports applications. So that means motorcycles, UTVs, you name it. If it's got EFI, they basically have an application for the thing. All you gotta do is go to their website, you can hit some drop-down menus, do all that stuff. So with that said, I wanted to take and install one of these EFlexFuel kits on my 2022 Harley Lowrider ST to see if we could record any measurable power gains. It's the only thing I have that's stock, and I wanted to do this before we go whole hog on it, because I think it's a really good testament and baseline to see if does this shit actually do anything. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the bike here, we're gonna install the eFlex kit, which will probably take 10 whole minutes. Then we're gonna take the bike up to Performance Motoring in Gardena, strap it to the dyno, and we're gonna do back-to-back comparison runs on Pump 91 and Pump E85. And we're gonna see if there's a power gain to be had. That's it, raw science, baby. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's the deal. Of course, we got my man Yesman in the house. We also got Mr. Craze. They're gonna be helping with this process. But as I've already said, we're doing flex fuel on the Harley. So I wanted to do this before I completely just did a really nasty motor and a bunch of other shit, just so we could actually get some like raw data on horsepower before and after, and then also do some fuel economy, but who gives a fuck? It's a motorcycle, it's gonna get good fuel economy anyway. But I wanted to see what it was. And also this way, when I do a real nasty motor, I can put it on C85 and, well, party. Break us down real quick on exactly what this kit does.
So basically it's a piggyback system. It's very simple. Control module here, ethanol sensor here, and a piggyback harness. Pretty much direct plug and play. Only thing you need to do is a continuity test and then plug in your connector. Just because it's a little different on different bikes. That's about it. Besides that, it does come with a fuel line and all the adapters and quick disconnects that you're gonna need to build an extra little fuel line to add the ethanol sensor. What it does, reads your ethanol, go up, makes the adjustment on the computer, basically adjust your duty cycle on your stock fuel injectors as needed to get that proper mix to do the exact thing it's supposed to do, but better on the 85.
And this also works in tandem with, like, let's say if you have some sort of like power control unit, or if you've done a tune on it, right?
Yes, it does. You just need to have the headspace left in your injector duty cycle, which is max 30%. If you don't, you could do a blend, but most of the time you always have about 30% left. So that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah. If you saw the video we did on my Raptor, it took us about, I don't know, like an hour to do the install. To date, the Raptor gets better fuel economy on E85, which I don't know how that happens. Probably because it makes more power, it does have to downshift a bunch, but the thing runs way better. So I was like, let's do this on everything. Listen, this is California, right? Premium fuel is like $5.89 a gallon now, okay? Yeah. And E85 is $2.99, not even $2.99, it's like $2.40 something actually yesterday.
Yeah, it's gone down a bit.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna see if we can make a little power out of this thing, let it run a little cooler, and then when we go extra spicy, we're gonna see what it does. Without further ado, we're gonna start tearing this thing down. We're gonna do the damn thing. All right, we got 14 minutes to do this. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
All right, so we got the tank off. Now, there is not a whole lot of room on this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run the flex fuel sensor right up where the old horn used to be. We're gonna run the line back through here, and then we'll connect it to the hard mount for the fuel line that goes right into the injector block. This way, this will allow us to run our wiring nice and clean up over the tank. So I'm gonna run some insulation over these lines because it gets real hot up in there, and we don't want hot fuel because hot fuel makes less power and it's bad for your engine. So we'll insulate. So we're doing a polarity test right now to see which injector is what for the harness or what?
How you build your connector. So on some, it's different. So you basically just get both of your female connectors from your injectors, and then you set it to polarity, and then you want to just see where you have a closed circuit.
So then we need positive away from the clip, correct? And ground is closest to the clip.
Correct.
Easy.
Yeah. Easy peasy. And that's it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
This side clips into the harness like that, and then this side goes into your injector. So now we're gonna clean up our wiring, make it look like not a mess, and then we can tighten some things down, put it back together.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the bike back together, no big deal. Everything's nice and clean. Now, we gotta see if this thing will start. It's probably important, right? Moment of truth. So now that we got this kit installed and spent a whole 15 minutes doing so, let's get this thing to the dyno and let's see what it's gonna do, baby. We have landed at Performance Motoring. We got my man Bruno here. He's gonna be doing all the dyno runs for us. He's the official tech for today. You got this right? Yes, good boy. We're gonna see what it makes on just 91. And then we're gonna drain that tank. We're gonna fill it with the 85 and then get our averages. Again, we haven't tuned anything. It's basically stock. It's just got a pipe on it. See what it does. Let's get it. The cool thing about these EFlex kits, I love this on my Raptor, you get an ethanol readout or content readout on your phone. You can also see that, hey, are the injectors working as they should? So right now it's reading about 9% ethanol. So I guess that is technically legal for California. You can see fuel map corrections, analog maps. So once we start rolling this thing actually with the full tank of E85, we'll see all this stuff change pretty drastically. Pretty cool stuff. First step, we are gonna actually fully disconnect this EFlex unit because we don't want it giving this thing any help. And we wanna see exactly what we're doing on just straight up bullshit California 91 gas. These EFlex kits have this little deadhead plug where you can have the kit on, and if there's anything wrong or if like some reason something fails, well, you can just boom, pop that thing in and everything should be back to completely normal. So we're gonna do that first. Introduce yourself to the people here, man.
Hey, yeah, my name is Chris. I'm one of the owners here at Performance Motoring, and this is where we make the magic happen.
As you've probably seen in some of the B-roll, they got some spicy in here. So we're gonna be back here, especially when we got a little more motor, something that's more appropriate to be here. But
yes.
Right now, they're doing us a huge favor, working on some soft stuff right now.
It's a lot more fun when we're like upwards of 200 horsepower.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You ready to do this thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna plug in now.
Typically when you're working with this like Harley M8 stuff or any of the EFI stuff, what kind of systems do you like to use?
Power Vision. We use the TTS too, but we're a dealer for Power Visions.
Okay. By the way, how long have you guys been here?
We've been here in this building almost 4 years, but we were on the other side of Normandy for 3 years, but we moved here because we needed more space to build the dyno.
The beauty of motorcycle stuff, you don't need a gigantic room to have a dyno in.
My neighbors next door, they're car guys, right? And I tease them all the time. You know, I might take a transmission and carry it over and like, hey man, I got to replace this transmission. Look, might have a motor. Here, look, I got to replace a motor. Can you do that?
Exactly. If you've ever had to bench press a 4L80 into a vehicle from the ground, you know what it's talking about. What do you think this thing's gonna make just out of the tire completely stock?
Probably about 100.
What do you think it'll make on the 85?
110.
Okay. 10% is 10%.
That's my guess.
We'll see what it does. So we got 2 baseline pulls done right now. of the box Harley, basically.
97 horsepower, 98 really, 97.91, 98 horsepower, and 122 torque. I've been around these a long time. And I remember when we would build a bike, and if you got 100 horsepower, oh man, you're the king of the hill.
All right, so we're gonna throw some E85 in this thing, and then we're gonna do a real test. See what it does. I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna say 105, because it's really not adjusting timing or anything, it's just adding more fuel. Now, if we can adjust timing, we should actually see if we can maybe tune it a little bit and see what she do. We should do that. We should definitely do that.
That breaking news, you're looking at it right now. The LAPD in pursuit of a shooting suspect.
Hey, it is popping down here. Yeah. Power going up. Yeah, buddy. And you can see it, you can hear it adjusting. So, we learned something real quick, because these new Harleys have traction control and all that bullshit that nobody wants, right? As soon as it was getting to like 5,000 RPM, and you're still wooded, I see that throttle going closed. Is there a way to like keep it to where it'll just be at 100% when you're at 100%?
Yeah. Well, because it's governed.
Yeah. How do we ungovern? We are an ungovernable group here.
Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah. But it has to be for race application only.
Well, you know,
it is. This is not a street bike.
This is just for testing. We can put that back on.
Yeah, we can test it.
If you're watching this, we're gonna put it back on after we leave here. But for science, we need to see what it does.
R&D. Little R&D.
R&D.
Yeah, we can do that.
Become ungovernable. Alright, so here's the deal. We're running out of fuel injector. We were already running out of fuel injector like from the jump. And if you don't have enough flow, you ain't gonna make any more power.
I like your tattoo, man.
It's funny, they came about and I'd have like land navigation notes or something. I would like write it on my arm. It's like the last note would be "Don't die." My buddy Mike, who's my co-host, that is like, you should just get that tattooed on your arm so you don't have to keep writing it. We all went and got our first tattoos in Austin, Texas on Cinco de Mayo. I only have one tattoo. Mike is now covered in tattoos. Crazy. We thought we were gonna have to change the injectors in this thing because it was looking like we were at maximum duty cycle because it was reading as if, you know, AFRs were going all over the place. Turns out one of our injector plugs was just slightly depinned and just coming out. So anytime he would get on it, it would basically just go super lean in the front. The computer's trying to change everything. It's thinking it's at maximum duty cycle, so it's trying to correct for that. But realistically, it just wasn't sending an electrical signal to the injector to actually dump fuel in there. So we're not at 100% duty cycle, and we were able to find a fix to that. Now that we got that sorted out, we can make a power pull here and see what this thing does. We don't have to change some injectors, so let's see what it puts down. We have a result here. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna walk you through. So first, completely stock. This is the best run that we could get here. 97 horsepower, max torque of 122 foot-pounds. Then, with the addition of the EFlexFuel kit, just operating on itself, we were able to pick up a little bit of horsepower. So we got 99 horsepower and 121 foot-pounds of torque. But we realized that during this run, there's still some nannies on. Stock Harley Davidson ECUs, they have like traction control and bullshit that you don't even even want on the bike. So we removed those things via PowerVision 4. And so this was our end result. So after removing the nannies and just simply installing the EFlexFuel kit, you can see that we picked up a pretty good amount of power there. That's about 5 horsepower at the tire, and we picked up about 6 foot-pounds of torque at the tire. But we didn't just pick it up in peak. If you look at the graph here, that is everything above the curve, and you'll notice that it was able to actually run out more RPM there. You can see where the stock stuff completely falls on its face there, and we're getting another, I don't know, roughly 1,000 RPM out of this bike. So this is good. For just plug-and-play kit, all you gotta do is just plug that in, set up, connect it to the injectors, and put E85 in the bike. Not bad at all. So imagine what this kit can do on something that's modified. It's basically a multiplier for your gains on anything that you're gonna do. And I'm actually really excited to try this once we put a really nasty motor in too, because then we're gonna see what something spicy does with 91, and we'll see what it does on E85. What are the benefits of like switching over to E85 on a bike? Besides like horsepower and torque,
It's gonna run a lot cooler, and if it runs cooler, the motor's gonna last a lot longer. Because these are air-cooled motors. Some of them are liquid-cooled, but the air-cooled, if you can just get the temperature down, that's why they make so many different things, different fans. So if you could just put E85 in it, that's gonna drop your temperature about 15%.
so you get a longer lasting bike.
Longer lasting bike, more
Now-
comfortable ride. When we have a bike on E85, you can let it idle.
So it just won't heat soak and just start just melting down, huh?
Yeah.
Damn, love that. Plus, let's not forget the most important part, which is it's half the cost of gasoline here in California, right? Premium, over $5 a gallon. E85 is like just over 2 a gallon. I mean, we're like 220, 230 a gallon. So this is a win all around. It's the easiest thing to install. All you gotta do is plug and play. And honestly, I have a sneaking suspicion if you threw a little more injector towards it, you pick up a lot more. So if you wanna pick up one of these for your car, motorcycle, UTV, snowmobile, whatever the hell it is, you can go to eflexfuel.com, and if you use code CHOPLORD at checkout, which is in all caps, you'll even get yourself a discount. There's really no downside to it. It's easy to install. You'll save money at the pump, your stuff will run cooler, and hell, you're gonna make more power without even having to tune anything. So, there you have it. We did some science today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think now we should go do some burnouts. You down?
Oh man, that's what's up.
All right, let's get it, baby.
Yeah.
Yo, appreciate you,
I
dog.
appreciate you.
Hell yeah. It's a little spicier now.